joining us right now, Eagles rookie linebacker Jihaad Campbell.
Jihaad.
Right after practice. Jihaad, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. All is well. Extremely blessed to get to work every day. It's a blessing to come out here and play football. That's my job now. So,
what would if I take you back 5 years ago? 5 years ago, I tell Jihaad Campbell, you're going to be sitting here, August 1st, 2025, as a rookie in Eagles training camp with them coming off of you drafted to the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. What's your reaction if I told you that 5 years ago?
sheesh. Really just think about all the hard work, I always put in. I'm not surprised of a factor like this, just because, at the end of the day, it still needs to be more work to be put in, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm really excited about that, just to come out here each and every day and really, get better. I honestly love that, you know what I'm saying? Just to, compete, just to really mentally do better, physically do better, and, just keep being around the guys and building that connection.
You know what, John? I'm kind of curious because you were projected to go a lot higher than you did.
Yep.
So, you go to a good team, no question about that. You go to a Super Bowl defending champion. But were you a little bit, a little disappointed? Because, when you first come out, you're looking at, you're not looking at the team. Yeah, I got you with that. You're looking at the financials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So were you, was it kind of like, oh, man, but oh, hell yeah, at the same time?
Well, of course, if you ask anybody else that question, I feel like everybody will say yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole competing factor. It's a, competing type of industry. So, once that happened, I'm like, all right, people got me effed up. But at the end of the day, it's all God's plan. I'm here for a reason. I'm back around home. I'm back, with the Birds. Always been a fan. Always been an Eagle all my life. And, it's extremely blissfully to say that, I'm here.
Yeah, right, but I just had to ask that. Because that is one of those things, man. Because I remember when I got drafted, I went to the Jets, and I remember vividly saying, when they asked did I want to play for the Jets, I almost said no. But I realized, you know what I mean?
I can't say no.
Yeah, you can't say, you know what I mean? You can't say no, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I get what you're saying. Saying.
Were you surprised by – so you're healthy, right? You're practicing right now. You're clear. You're good. Yeah. Were you surprised? Because the chatter that we heard around the draft and probably why you didn't go as high is there were medical issues. Did that surprise you? Because it seems like you're fine right now.
Yeah, it is what it is. I know my own self. Everybody got opinions. Everybody feel like they're entitled to say something or to feel a certain way, right? And, for me, I just head down, continue to work, really have tunnel vision, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest thing for me, and I set a standard for myself and I set goals for myself each and every day. And, it's me versus me, so I got to beat myself every day.
What's it like being in this linebacker room right now? So you grew up an Eagles fan. You know what it's like. There's not many times, the Eagles have had some great linebackers, but it's been a while since they've had a lot of great linebackers. And it feels like right now you join a room they have some studs. Zach Bond, one of the best in the league. Nakobe, we know he's coming off injured, but he was great last year. Now you join the mix. What's it like being in a linebacker room on the Eagles that's this good?
Man, just seeking perfection is the standard in that room. We always talk about, being physical, playing with great eyes, great discipline, great feet work. We the heartbeat of the whole defense. So, honestly, it's a great room. I'm, still connecting with those guys. Zach, Nakobe, great, tremendous leaders for us. They always just point out different things on the field, how, it can help us with better eyes or, just mentally doing walkthroughs. It can help us, understand different things visually. So when we go out here and compete, it's very easy for us to, react to the ball and certain things like that. Like I said, man, this is a very group of guys in this room, and, I'm very excited to, just keep it growing.
This might sound like a crazy question, but I'm kind of curious because you can do both. You can play in coverage and you can rush the passer. Do you like rushing the passer?
Hell yeah.
I knew it was a stupid question to ask, but I just had to ask. I had to ask.
I like getting to the quarterback. I like beating the, dicing up the tackle.
That one-on-one matchup.
And really just straining the finish, man. Each and every chance I get. Pass rushing is a type of position that, you might win some, you might lose some, but of course you want to win all of them, But, I think the biggest thing about it is just keep on straining the finish to get back there and, for a split of a fraction of a second just to get to that quarterback.
So is it safe to say that that's kind of like that's the mark when you talk about being a Philadelphia Eagle and being a part of the history of this organization, that's what you want to be known for, getting after the quarterback?
being whatever is needed for the defense. I think that's my type of role. You know what I'm saying? And right now, my role, you know, is just understanding the linebacker position and also, you know, being a pass rusher and really, I would say, like the whole vision of the defense. You know what I'm saying? So I can keep on knowing how to lead myself and then, you know, keep helping lead the team and stuff like that.
So far, is it more inside linebacker with a little bit of reps on the outside? Because last year, Cooper DeJean, your teammate, came in here, and he was a guy, the versatility was talked about, right? He played corner, safety, and then he ended up just playing the slot. Obviously was awesome at it, helped the Eagles win the Super Bowl. What's for you, when you go out there, is it mostly inside linebacker with a little edge work? Tell us about what you're doing when you're on the practice field right now.
You know, just going out there and really competing, I think, is the biggest thing. So wherever they, you know, find a fit to put me at, and I think my biggest thing is just executing my job, doing it right, with great communication, great with eye discipline, great with physicality, and, you know, play after play after play. So,
Vic Fangio, what's it been like first camp with him? He's a legend, but he's the kind of guy where we've known him for the past couple of years. He tells it straight. Is it like that to you guys when
Definitely.
you're alone with him?
Definitely. You know, it's a defense of, you know, very great guys that are athletic, that are very rangy, and that can do a lot of great special things for our defense. You know, so what Vic says, I mean, you know, he's been in the game for a long time. So, you know, that's a very great coach. You know, and I'm just really extremely blessed that I can get to be coached by Vic. You know what I'm saying?
Eagles rookie linebacker Jihaad Campbell with us here at the NovaCare Complex as practice wraps up. Jihaad, what's it like playing at home? Is that, you know, I'm sure there's pros and cons to it, right? You get to be, you know, near family and near friends, but also, you know, you're near family and friends, which I'm sure there's some challenges there. What's it like for you being home?
I mean, I think, you know, the main thing is, right, you know, it's very exciting, it's very happy, but the main thing is really just keeping the main thing, you know, always making sure I'm doing the right thing. Always, you know, I have a great heart and a big heart, you know, so I always like to, you know, just be kind and generous to others, you know, have the same respect for somebody just as much as I want to have that respect too, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest part of it. You know, obviously I have a lot of family here in New Jersey that's rooting for me, and, you know, that's just cheering me on, you know, as I go into my first rookie season of, you know, with the Eagles. So, you know, like I said, it's extremely blissful. I'm really excited to be here, make plays, and, you know, just keep on building connections in the building and outside the building.
So what did you have to do to cut off the ticket request? Did you cut off at like 20 tickets for people asking tickets for the game, or is it just mom and dad and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we keep things in-house, you know what I'm saying? we ain't get there yet, but.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's the Dallas game, man. And you know how that is. That's one of the hardest tickets to get. Yeah. You're probably going to get a whole lot of ticket requests for that one.
Nick Sirianni, what's it like being a player under him? Because it feels like he has a special connection with guys on an individual level. He goes out of his way to try to do that. I know you just got here and you're getting to know him still, but what's it like with head coach Nick Sirianni?
He's a great coach, man. You know, I don't know any other coach that's doing this, but, you know, when I'm in the cold tub with a hot tub, guess what he's doing?
He's in there?
In the cold tub and hot tub?
He in the cold tub. He in the sauna. He, you know, getting himself right. So, and that's a great thing, you know, just being a rookie and coming into an organization like that and seeing my coach doing the things that we're doing too. It's like, dang, like, you know, it shows the leadership. It shows, you know, what's it like and why the standard is the standard, you know, tough, detail, and together, you know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, the Eagles are prided by.
So what is the city of Philadelphia getting in Jihaad Campbell? Like, if there's a fan out there listening who's only caught maybe a couple of your bowl games over this, but hasn't really watched you play, what should we expect? Tell us about Jihaad Campbell on the field.
A relentless, raw player, you know, a guy who's willing to contribute, you know, towards helping the defense win a game, helping special teams win a game, you know what I'm saying, and, of course, rooting for our offense. And, you know, just competing, man, you know, being a generous type of guy and, you know, never letting disrespect come his way. You know, respect is respect, you know what I'm saying? It's earned, not given. So, yeah.
What's it been like on the defense with all the Georgia Bulldogs? I mean, the Alabama guys are more on the offensive side.
That was a big thing.
Now we're kind of trying to even this out because there's a big Georgia-Alabama thing here, and it feels like last couple of
SEC.
years.
That's all I got to say.
I know.
SEC,
they keep bringing you guys in, but you're trying to even that out a little bit because that defense is mostly Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, mixing it up with SEC and, I mean, of course you got other conferences that's on our defense, but that's what brings the aggression. That's what brings the physicality and the mental part out of the game to our defense. And, you know, that's why, it's going to keep growing how it is.
Jihaad, have you gotten any sort of, where I know next week the preseason started last night in the NFL with the Hall of Fame game. Do you think you're going to play? Has Vic talked about that? Because teams do things differently now, right? Guys don't always play in the preseason, or they play very sparingly. Have you gotten word? Do you think you're going to play in these preseason games?
I think really the biggest thing is just keeping it day by day and seeing how days go. You know, for me, especially being out here on the field, I want to stack days. Each and every day I get, each and every opportunity that I get, you know what I'm saying? So that's next week. You know, right now, after this, I got to focus on, you know, our meeting, watching film, watching, you know, how I can get better, what can I do to be better and communicate better and play more physical and, you know, play with more mental abilities.
Yeah, that's the question I want to ask. How much for you has the preparation changed from college to the pros now? How do you get ready for practice and everything and you know, the work schedule?
I don't think it really changed, you know, because I always had a plan. You know, it's just, of course, you know, for anybody, you know, if you're a little sore, if you're a little banged up or whatever, then the thing's a little different because now you got to do treatment, right? Mm-hmm. Also, you know, within getting your whole body ready, you know, your legs and stuff like that. So I think for me, I love to, you know, get in the hot tub and stretch around and, you know, do a lot of mobility stuff before I go out there on the field so I can already be warmed up.
Jihaad, we appreciate you hopping in here. Good luck in your rookie season. We're expecting big things, and City's very excited to have you. Thank you, Jihaad.
Definitely.
Thank you.
There he goes. Jihaad Campbell, Eagles rookie linebacker, with us there on the Midday Show live from the NovaCare Complex as he gets ready for his first year in the NFL.